What's up, Gooners? The pain of Budapest is still fresh, but Andrea Berta is already working flat out in the transfer window, and Arsenal are now set to go all in to sign an Aston Villa superstar. Meanwhile, we've got a major update on Bradley Barcola and Arsenal, and Mikel Arteta has sent a crystal clear message to the board this summer regarding Myles Lewis-Skelly's future after the Champions League final. Could he really be leaving? If you want all the details on these bombshell stories as we recover from the heartbreak of that penalty defeat, subscribe right now, turn on notifications, and let's dive into what's next for Arsenal. Let's jump straight into the first story because Andrea Berta is wasting no time, according to Ben Jacobs, with the journalist stating Arsenal are now serious contenders to sign Morgan Rogers, who is expected to leave Aston Villa this summer. Jacobs added crucial context. This isn't about Rodgers pushing for a move away. He loves Unai Emery and Villa have Champions League football, but they still have some financial hurdles to jump over, even with that extra money. Offers in excess of 80 million will be engaged with. Interested clubs feel around 80 million, whereas Villa sources feel like they get in a room at 80 million, but maybe 90 million and even 100 million might be the number, because we're in an inflated market. That's the reality we're facing. This is going to be expensive, but Rodgers could be a statement signing. Football agent Hesham Bilal Hafiz is a strong admirer of the England international, lauding him as unbelievable technically. The 23-year-old played a major role in Villa winning the Europa League, picking up 3 goals and 5 assists in 15 matches. Look at his Premier League record. In 2023 to 2024, he had 11 appearances with 4 goal involvements. In 2024 to 2025, 37 appearances with 19 goal involvements. And in 2025 to 2026, 37 appearances with 17 goal involvements. That's elite consistency. Rodgers' versatility would also be a huge bonus for Arteta, with the former Middlesbrough man capable of playing on both wings and in the number 10 role. That's exactly what we need. Now let's talk about Bradley Barcola, because Andrea Berta's £61 million target shows Arsenal must call off any move after his Champions League final display. Bradley Barcola had a potential audition in front of one of his biggest suitors, Arsenal, in the Champions League final in Budapest. Unfortunately, the PSG winger failed to impress when it mattered most. Unfortunately for the Gunners, it was heartbreak in the Champions League final as Eberechi Eze and Gabriel Magalhaes both missed from 12 yards. Arsenal's team took the lead after just 6 minutes through Kai Havertz, but were unable to hold the lead and were beaten 4-3 on penalties. Work on transfers has already commenced, but one player the North London club should be trying to avoid is Barcola, who did not look great in the final. Arsenal must avoid a move for Paris Saint-Germain winger Barcola after his poor performance. At 23, the winger still has plenty of time to improve, and he undoubtedly is a huge talent for the future. But Arsenal are a team competing for titles right now. Arteta's team need an elite-level left winger to really take this team to the final level, and signing a player with potential is certainly a risk. Last season, Barcola proved wasteful against the Gunners in the semi-final stage, particularly at the Emirates Stadium. But in Budapest, he also missed some big chances. In the final stages of extra time, Barcola, who is valued at 61 million, missed a glorious chance to score what would have been the winning goal, but he failed to even get his shot on target. Had that been Desire Doe or Kavica Kvaratskhelia, it's a goal, but the youngster missed his chance to write history for the European champions. After the match, Ousmane Dembele was spotted coaching the winger. Barcola is expected to leave PSG this summer in search of regular game time, but a move to Arsenal should not happen. We need ready-made talent, not potential. Now let's talk about what Mikel Arteta has told the board, because the manager has sent a crystal clear message following the gut-wrenching penalty shootout defeat in Budapest. The pain of Budapest has barely settled, but Mikel Arteta is already thinking about what comes next. The Arsenal manager has sent a clear message to the board following a penalty shootout defeat to PSG in the Champions League final. Speaking after the game, Arteta said, "We will start to make some very important decisions if we want to reach another level. And we're going to have to show that ambition because we are more than capable of doing it, but it's going to demand to be very, very ambitious, very fast, and very smart." That's a statement of intent directed at the board and the recruitment team, letting them know that standing still is absolutely not an option. The trajectory of this club under Arteta is undeniable. After 22 years, they are finally Premier League champions again, and they just reached their first Champions League final in 20 years. But losing to PSG on penalties after giving everything has confirmed what the manager might have already known. The gap between this Arsenal side and the very best in Europe is closing, but it has not yet been fully bridged. PSG have an abundance of attacking firepower: Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Barcola and Doué, players capable of creating and finishing moments of pure brilliance. Arsenal's attack is effective, organised and dangerous from set pieces, but the X-factor that can unlock a deep defensive block or conjure something from nothing in a tight final is the missing piece. The good news is that Josh Kroenke has already shown he is willing to back the manager, and the club's record revenues this season give them the financial resources to act. Julian Alvarez is one of their primary attacking targets, though Barcelona are pushing hard. Eli Jr. Krupi and Morgan Rogers are also firmly in the frame as Arteta looks to add the creativity and goal threat that could make the difference at the highest level next season. The important decisions Arteta refers to will also involve some difficult ones. Players who have served the club well, but may not be part of the next chapter. That's the reality of a club that wants to go from Champions League finalists to Champions League winners. Now let's talk about Myles Lewis-Skelly, because aged just 19, the midfielder produced such an incredibly mature performance in the Champions League final and proved exactly why he must start for Arsenal next season. The Gunners had to deal with the heartbreak of losing the Champions League final on penalties. Eberechi Eze and Gabriel Magalhaes both missed their spot kicks, and the whole squad will be gutted about not getting the job done in Budapest. Several Arsenal players can leave the final with their heads held high, and Lewis-Skelly was absolutely one of them. It's remarkable to think he is still only a teenager, given the way he played against Paris Saint-Germain and many of his performances over the last 2 seasons. Over the last month, Lewis-Skelly has been like a new signing for Arsenal, having come into the team under Arteta and been outstanding. Without the 19-year-old, there's a genuine chance Arsenal may have never won the Premier League title. He added much-needed energy to the midfield during the crucial final stretch. One of Lewis-Skelly's best traits is his ability to carry the ball, and whilst he did that brilliantly against PSG, it was his work off the ball which was most impressive. The youngster covered almost every blade of grass for the Gunners and gave PSG very little time on the ball. Against PSG, the midfielder won 1 tackle, made 1 interception, 1 recovery and won 3 duels. That's incredible work rate from a teenager. Arsenal are looking to sign another midfielder in the summer, with a number 6 or 8 being targeted by Andrea Berta. That makes sense for depth. But whilst the Gunners do need to add another option in midfield, Arteta should be looking to make Lewis-Skelly a key part of his plans for next season and beyond. He's proven he can handle the biggest stages. Alright Gooners, that's all the massive news as we recover from the heartbreak of Budapest. Now I want to hear from you. Should Arsenal go all in for Morgan Rogers? Was Barcola's final performance that bad? And do you agree that Lewis-Skelly must start next season? Drop all your thoughts in the comments right now. I read every single comment and your debates are always incredible. Let's process this together because we've got so much to be proud of, but also so much to achieve. And if you enjoyed this breakdown and want every Arsenal update as we rebuild and push for the Champions League next season, you absolutely need to hit that subscribe button immediately, smash it right now and turn on notifications. We're coming back stronger. Until next time, Gooners, we'll be back and come on you Gunners.